In this video, I'll introduce Tangora's Event Calendar module. We'll take a look at how end users browse and sign up for events, and we'll see how events are administered in Tangora Manager. Basically, the Event Calendar module allows you to publish your organization's events on your website and allows your guests to browse and sign up for your events. The nature of these events depends on your organization. Perhaps they're lectures or presentations, courses, concerts, focus groups, meetings, or perhaps all of the above. We can see on screen our main events page and our demo site Frez, a website for a fictive organic food company. Here we have an overview of our current events, spread over several pages. We can browse from page to page with the built-in navigation. If you click on a given event, the details of the event appear where there's a full description, and we have a back button to go back to our overview. I could also click on a venue and bring up some details on the place where the event is being held. And then we could use the search function at the top. In this particular example, I've chosen to include a searchable category selector, and I could also browse by place or just by typing in a search word. Here we've chosen just some of the many search parameters you can include. I have total control over the display of my events. The graphic design is fully customizable with Tangora's powerful and intuitive point-and-click layout tools. I decide how many elements are shown on a page and what information is shown in just which order, and the same goes for the search parameters at the top. Just to name a couple of examples, I could have omitted a photo, or I could have included links to files or external links. I could even add my own customized data fields if there were additional information on my events which the module hadn't anticipated. And in fact, I've done so here where I needed a field to note the name of the artist for my art exhibition events. For each event, there's a sign up button if the event requires signing up. Note that there's also a fully customizable tip a friend feature whereby you can send an email tip to a friend. Let's sign up for an event. After I've sent in my form, I get a tailored feedback message, and a confirmation email can also be sent. You can include a cancellation link in the confirmation. You can create a multitude of different pages. If you wanted to display events in just one category or at just one venue, for example. Or perhaps you want to have a page to display previous events. I have an example up on screen now of a teaser on our front page, which links back to the main events page. Alright, let's switch gears here and see what it's like to create and administer these events. Basically, your administrative activities will consist of creating events, where you enter in a host of information and related lists, and then you'll be able to keep track of who has registered for which event. I have up on screen the Event Calendar module, where we have a listing of different events. We could see in the overview some basic information on the event, where we could also see the number of reservations as well as the percentage of total possible reservations. So at a glance you could see what the status of any given event is. And just like the end user has on our website, the web administrator has some search parameters up here at the top to help them find what information they want to examine. Let me give you a brief overview here. First, I have an area for creating categories up here. And you can see that there are a variety of settings for images and other supporting files. We can also see that we have the ability to export our data, and then we have a button called Reservations. If I click into Reservations, I come into the Reservations area where I have all the information on who has signed up for my events. Again, the information is blended together from all the events, but I have the ability to narrow my view down to just that event or grouping of events that interests me. Finally, we have an advanced area where we have, among other things, the ability to create cities and places. Every event can be tied to a place or a venue, and each place can be attached to city. This is smart because you're likely to have several different venues in the same city, and in this way you define the information for the city only once. Let's go back to our event overview and create a new event. I'll just hit Create, and then it's a matter of typing in the info. Let's say we have a lecture on organic fodder. I'll type the name in here. And incidentally, if you have an event that's part of a broader series, you can indicate that here under the Part of field, and then there's some different options to display related events on your website as a series. Then we could choose Place, and I've just shown you where you could create places. You'll notice that when I choose Frez Headquarters Main Hall, that some of the information is automatically transferred from that place to this event, namely what the maximum capacity of the venue is, how many reservations are allowed, and how many places can be reserved in a single reservation. You could trump the automatic information if you want to, just by typing in the right numbers. Then we have date and time information, and we have an option to repeat the event periodically. This is really handy because you may find yourself with a regular event, and it's nice to be able to edit the details centrally in one record. I could incidentally create blackout periods for holidays or whatnot with the More Periods button. And then there's an option here to activate online reservation, where we could also set the date from which you're allowed to reserve. By the way, you have similar criteria that you could set for cancellation. Next, we could add up to 3 categories. And then there's an intro text and a main text. We have a price field, a place for an image, file, and link, and then we'll hit OK, and we can see the results on our main page. As you've seen, the Event Calendar module is packed with useful features and is highly versatile. We've now taken a focused look at a complete implementation and shown the most essential functions. Thank you for watching.